So welcome to the team call on Sunday, the 27th of December. I can literally hardly believe we are almost at the end of 2020. Strange old year. So I'm just going to share the screen. Just bear with me. So with the noteworthy items, there's just a few bits this week, guys. Hopefully you guys are all now aware that Control Freak customer access is now available. Now, I had somebody enroll earlier on and it came in at £163. Don't ask me why. It might have been a glitch with my BB links or my cart, but just in case you've got someone that was keen on Control Freak, like you might want to just test it even on a dummy account, because it might just be like a loophole today that's a glitch with the system that means they get it slightly cheaper. So just make sure to check that out. And I would just say with Control Freak, what I'm doing very much now, you should notice, guys, that over Christmas and now more than ever, as we said before, that what we were discussing is coming to fruition, i.e. you have way more people watching your stories. All the people who have eaten way too much over Christmas are feeling really lackluster about their fitness that perhaps you invited to Control Freak before Christmas. I bet loads of them are watching your stories if you haven't kind of gone into that yet. And certainly the uptake and interest that I've had in terms of Control Freak and also the coach sneak peek over just today, and I did a bit of work yesterday, has been insane. I sent out my newsletter, which I send out, and I've had 4 people asking to be added to the sneak peek. Now, I rarely get any replies to my newsletters or anything like that. So I can promise you that, albeit I know and fully understand and appreciate that this year has been an absolute SHITTER, and some of us are really feeling it. We're human. Just because we're coaches, it doesn't mean that we aren't feeling it too. But I can promise you that the more that you lean into this and the more that you decide, I'm just going to take some action and see who I can help, the more it's actually going to energize you, even if you're feeling a bit kind of down in the dumps about the situation, because there's nothing more energizing than helping other people. And that is one of the reasons that I love what we do so much, because it actually helps you to help other people. It really helps you get out of your own bog when you start helping other people and reaching out to them. And the amount of people now that I've perhaps sent the invite about Control Freak who have been watching my stories, and if they haven't replied initially to my Control Freak message, I'm just messaging them saying, oh, thanks for keeping up with my stories. Did you want more info on this? We're going to run another group in January. Because ultimately, guys, the thing that I do want to make clear, as an aside from the sneak peek, is that remember, the Control Freak packs may well take a week, 10 days, 2 weeks to arrive. And if you've got people that want to get on their fitness in January, then you really want to be getting them enrolled with Control Freak now. If they want to start in January, they're going to need to do that now. So I know, like, for a lot of us, it's like, well, you know, it's Christmas, I want to have a wind down. But I want to be honest, this business is really, really built for 2021 in the next few days, because of course we have people who are off, we have people who have more time than usual, we have people that have been stuffing their faces and feeling like shit. And you better bet that those people, if we are going to show up for our business and message them, they are ready. I messaged someone today who I've been chatting to. I think I started chatting to her only a couple of weeks ago, and she just enrolled as a customer like that. I sent her the visuals of what pack to choose for Control Freak, and she's good to go, and I'm talking to her tomorrow. So I genuinely believe this time of the year is the easiest, quickest way to convert people you're having conversations with, because they are looking for that solution. They are on social media to try and find some fitness inspiration. They're on your page if you have a fitness account, because they are looking for a new program to do in January. And if we're not going to reach out to them and make the most of it and reconnect with people who are watching our stories, honestly, guys, we are shooting ourselves in the foot so hard, because these people really need us now, right? They really do. We don't know how long we're going to be in tier 4, as Joe and I were just saying. Like, it's hard. It's hard for all of us. It's an unknown. And remember, we can be that constant for people, as you have seen for yourselves, that's really going to help them physically, yes, but more so in their mind, in my opinion, through this period that we don't know how long we're going to have to ride it out. The other thing that I'm so excited about is the virtual super weekend. Now, for you guys that are new coaches who haven't been in a super weekend scenario, certainly a virtual one, as new coaches, the super weekends are usually physical meetings, okay? And they're all over the UK in set areas, so it gives you an opportunity to meet people in your location, other coaches from other teams. Unfortunately, obviously, those aren't able to take place, which means that we've been having virtual events. But at Virtual Super Weekends, we really get the announcements for new programs coming forward. We get unbelievable inspiration from top coaches. I think there's going to be a lot on Team Cup, which is Team Cup runs in February, and it's a chance to rally together with 4 other people from within this team or other teams to really beat your best. And honestly, it's so fun. So make sure that's in your calendars. On my dashboard, it only shows the UK time. So if we've got any Canadian or American coaches on here, just to say it's 4 p.m. and 5 p.m. UK time, it's probably going to be about an hour and a half. Please set that time aside, because I promise you, usually when we're learning all of this stuff, everyone's going crazy in the chat about new programs launching and things like that. And hopefully, if you are in tier 4 or tier 3, you've not got much else going on. Anyway, so Summit, I haven't heard anything to say it's not going ahead. Obviously, we are going to have to play it by ear. I suspect that Carl will wait until the last minute on this with this vaccine rolling out. I think this is going to be like a last minute thing. But again, as I said before, if you are a newer coach and you are wanting to get your Summit ticket for free, just make sure you hit Success Club 3 out of your first 6 months as a coach. It really should just be your main goal. So I'm really excited potentially for that to take place. I wanted to just share this again. I know I shared it last week, but I've just finished Ollie's book. And I know a lot of you guys are reading Ant's books, which are also incredible. Ollie's book, as I said last week, is all about kind of tangible tips for really putting your goals, visions, and mindset in the right place to create success, whether or not that's in your personal life, your Beachbody business, your corporate life, whatever it might be. Ollie's been through so many struggles in his life, and he explains, like, in really simple terms, how to build strategies into your day, or, you know, even that like contract goal setting thing we did last week, that was Ollie's, that just simplify everything. And just you'll a lot of pennies, I believe, will drop, because a lot of what he says is stuff that we've shared in other ways, or things that we kind of do in other ways anyway. But his book is unbelievable. So if you're looking for like easy, tangible strategies that help you with your mindset too, this book is amazing. So coach of the week is Leanne. Well done. I'm just going to get Joe to share why Leanne is coach of the week this week.
Yeah, I'm just sort of blown away by Leanne, actually. Can you hear me, actually, if I'm muted?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, sure. Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, she just sort of plods along, gets on with it. We've had a couple of calls and we message a bit, but I messaged her last week just to check, you know, everything was okay and what have you. And she lives in a penthouse flat, so she like a penthouse apartment, so she finds it quite difficult to do high impact workouts. So she's doing bar, but she's so consistent with it, like every single day, takes her shape. And I was like, oh, how are you getting on with your invites, etc.? And I've written them down. She said, oh, I've sent out 130 Facebook invites, I've had 33 replies, I've got 10 people that want to get going, and then I've got my Instagrams to do. I've done 20, I've got 80 to go, I've got loads of ideas. I mean, her determination is just like unbelievable, and she's just sat there quietly, just getting on with it. I haven't had to check up or anything, and I know she's going to be signing people up in the next couple of weeks, because she's just absolutely awesome. She's got so much to give, she's so talented, and she's got a brain like a sponge. She's absolutely amazing. So well done, Leanne. I'm so proud of you. Really good.
Oh, well done. That's like, honestly, that's amazing. And I think that is, as Joe said, like, it's one of the qualities that I believe is one of the difference makers for people that are really successful and those that aren't as successful, because you're just, as Joe said, like, you're just cracking on with it. You're just probably taking messy action. It's probably not perfect at all. In fact, it definitely won't be. No one's actions are perfect. But the more, you know, as we've said before in that book, Go for No, the more that we invite, the more that we fail, the more that we learn. The more that we invite, the more that we fail, the more that we learn, we grow, we see success. And the more that you're willing to do that, the more successful you'll be. So that's unbelievable. Well done. Like, I definitely didn't do that many invites when I was a new coach. So well done. That's amazing. So a tracker prize. Well done, guys. I know it's, you know, I have to be honest, this week in the coach calendar, in terms of putting in that daily consistent activity, of course, Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, I hardly did anything. It's really hard. And you probably found, like, when you came off for a couple of days, you found it that much harder to get back on again. And honestly, like even for me, I found it hard, and I've been doing this business for almost 3 years. So well done, guys. The people on here who shared their trackers this week, well done, because it's the busiest season. It's the season we can see most success, but it is the hardest time to be consistent. And it is about digging into that why and your goals and your visions and saying, right, I'm going to sit down 45 minutes. I'm just going to do this, even though I want to go and eat mince pies and have some champagne, you know? So well done to Claire, Joe, Francesca, Gemma, Elaine, and Laura. And the winner this week is Laura Davies. So well done, Laura. Just let me know which £15 vouchers you would like, and I will get those sent off to you. So guys, yeah, remember to do your trackers. Success Club for December. So in at 20 for me, Sarah, in at 6, she's a success starter for month 2, Francesca at 4, Gemma at 4, and Charlotte at 4. And honestly, guys, these next 3 days, just go for it. Like in a heartbeat, I believe in 24 hours you can hit Success Club. All of you guys are at 4, even you guys at 2, or even 0. People are out there, and if you've asked them before, if you ask them now, I promise you their reception is going to be so much more greatly received than at any other time of the year. So honestly, if you're going to put on the put your foot on the pedal, do it now. So Laura, well done, Joe and Kelly. So I will just say with mine, I just want to say, as I said last week, try not to compare yourself to me and think, right, well, I'm going to do that. Remember that I've been building a pipeline for almost 3 years, okay? And this is what you are building. Every week you're doing your tracker. Every day you're completing your tracker. You're putting a deposit into the box, okay? And the more deposits you put in, the more people you're going to convert in the months and years to come, okay? Hitting Success Club 20 as a coach in my first kind of 4 months, it would never, in fact, I don't think I hit Success Club 20 until I was about almost a year into the business, okay? So just want to share that, but that is the compound effect. That is the result of me consistently showing up over time. And I want you guys to know this is absolutely possible. Probably not possible, you know, as I say, within your first year, maybe. But that's what builds over time. And that's why I'm so passionate about sharing it with you guys, because that's what happens. And that's the amazing business that you build. So well done, guys. Sarah has just been honestly cracking on. Sarah to me is quite similar to Leanne in the sense that I'll check in with Sarah and she might take like 6 hours to reply, and she's like, yeah, I'm all good. I look at my calendar. She set up her calendar for her whole of January. She's got her inviting period. She's got the day her boot camp starts, and then when she flips into coaching, she has got her blinders on. She's got her schedule set up for January, and she knows what she's going to do. And guys, success leaves clues. If you prepare your calendar now for January, I can promise you the intention then that takes into your business, and your confidence in what you are doing each weekend every day becomes so much greater that you will just convert more people, okay? So just think about it. We have the sneak peek on the 30th of December, okay?
Izzy, sorry, can you let Sarah Jackson in? She's in the waiting room, said, yeah. Sorry, carry on.
That's so funny. Do you know what? There's something weird going on in the universe. Every time I'm thinking or talking about Sarah, she messages me or someone says something about her. Very bizarre. It is freaky. Right. So I'm going to go back and share screen. Oh, where's it gone? Okay. So yeah, so as I was saying, remember we've got the sneak peek on the 30th of December, okay? So most of you guys hopefully are aware of that and you're inviting into the coaching. The Academy is going to start on the 11th of January. Now there's a very intentional reason behind that, and that is, as you've seen, at this time of the year, some people are busier with family, some people are less busy with family. And so we wanted to give a greater lead up to the Coach Academy starting between the sneak peek and the Coach Academy. So you guys have got time to get more people into that group so that we have a big group of new coaches starting on the 11th of Jan. And as you guys know, as newer coaches, the joy and beauty of your groups and your academies has been the number of people that you can lean into doing the training together. So we believe this is going to work really well. It gives you guys more time. Okay, so really think with that in mind, when am I going to call to action my boot camp? I would say you want to start talking about your boot camp probably in the middle of the month. And as I said earlier on, it doesn't mean if you've got previous people who you've invited to Control Freak that are watching your stories now, who haven't messaged you back, you can't just go, hey, I've noticed you keeping up my stories. Were you interested in this new program? Okay. There's nothing to stop you getting them enrolled, because we have that Control Freak group that is going to roll. We're going to just roll people into that, and we'll start to change the check-ins. So just have confidence with that. And of course, then running your own group independently from sort of the 22nd of January, end of January. But just really make sure you've got your January goals set up, as Sarah has. That's why she's hitting Success Club every month. Okay, and Emerald coaches, we have several new Emerald coaches over the past sort of 6 weeks. So Sarah, Claire, Francesca, and Gemma, well done. These guys are all in the Level Up mentorship. You guys will need to hit Success Club 4 or above in order to remain in that group. Anybody that wants to join needs to be Emerald Success Club 4 or above. And really that group is for you guys to get additional training from me and Joe in terms of building your business so that you can help people more with the business opportunities, but also creating a tangible long-term business and sharing those success tips with you. So well done, guys. And Joe, she's literally got to hold her diamond until Thursday, and she has held it for 6 weeks, and she'll be a lifetime diamond. So I'm just super proud of Joe. She literally is on every single power hour that I do. She is there. Every single call that I lead, she is there, and she is just such a loyal coach, and she's so dedicated to her own journey. And I know to the coaches that she's training up, bringing through the business. So I'm just super proud of Joe, and she's such an incredible emerging leader. So well done, Joe. You are such a joy to run with. And obviously this is postponed until 2021 when the diamond retreat will be. I don't know. I can't tell you right now. I'm probably going to wait till the end of February, which I think is probably, hopefully, when we'll start to come out of lockdowns. But don't let that be something that holds you back from going for your goals, because ultimately anybody that is diamond or above will be coming on this retreat. It will be all expense paid. You will just need to pay for your travel. And you want to make this a reason why you want to be hitting Success Club 4 or above. You want to be an Emerald coach so that you are in these groups, okay? So that you can get that level up mentorship, which ultimately is what gets girls to diamond, okay? And beyond. That's what it's about. Not just diamond, but beyond, and what that means to you guys. So with that in mind, the coach sneak peek is on Wednesday, the 30th of December. And I just wanted us to kind of brainstorm and do a bit of a power hour based on the whole I suppose start to finish process for you guys in terms of how do you invite and what do I share in my stories. Okay, so hopefully you will have seen in the team page that I have shared the call to action visuals for the sneak peek on the 30th of December. And I really just want to make this super simple for you guys just by saying, like, it's literally like drawing a parallel. Okay, so say you're inviting to a boot camp. What would you do? You would start to talk about it. You would start to talk about the fact that it's coming up, and you would share the call to action visuals, okay? And I want you guys, and I know for some of you guys, you haven't had active working coaches in your business, and so this is a bit of a fake it till you make it scenario. It's a bit scary. You're sharing a coach sneak peek info session, which you've never done before. You perhaps have never invited into coaching before, but I want you to just break it down and make it super simple. All you need to do is probably 2 15-second clips just to say, you can watch my videos back, guys, and just get ideas from what I do. But basically, I just say, I'm really excited to share this coach sneak peek with you on Wednesday, the 30th of December. It's one of the things I love most about what I do. And it really gives you guys the opportunity to understand how you can be a coach like me and what the opportunity entails, okay? So it's really super simple. Obviously, for me, it clearly comes more naturally to me now because I've done them every month for the past over 2 years, okay? But you have to start somewhere, much like when you start inviting to the boot camps and you're talking about them, you feel a bit awkward. Just make sure if you're going to share the call to action visuals for the sneak peek that you also talk about it. Not necessarily every day, okay? But make sure every other day when you share those call to action visuals that you explain what it is, okay? And get them to vote. Like, do you want more info? Do you want me to get you into the group, okay? Because then you may well have people, as I said, like there are double the number of story watchers right now for me than I usually have. And you guys will probably find the same. You'll have people voting in that poll that you perhaps invited to Control Freak who you wouldn't even know would want to learn more about the coaching. I want you also to think about your posting strategy, okay? And you don't need to make every post about coaching, but in the lead up over the next couple of days, I want you to do one post Okay, one of your posts in the lead up to the 30th needs to be talking about coaching, perhaps what it's done for you. And for all of you guys, it will have done a multitude of different things. I've seen Gemma and I've seen Francesca and I've also seen Sarah sharing over the past few days about coaching, about what the opportunity has brought to their life. Okay, and for each of them, what it's brought to their life is very, very different. Okay, so just think about maybe 1, 2, or 3 things that coaching has brought into your life that perhaps you were looking for before and you didn't know, and how you feel now. So where you were then and where you were now. So do a then and now post based on how you felt before coaching and how you feel now and why it's beneficial, and put a call to action on the end of it. Okay, that's either today or tomorrow, or we've got the 29th. Okay, one of those posts, please do it. And again, it's probably going to terrify you if you haven't shared about the coaching and you've just been sharing like get fit and healthy with me. This is like get fit and healthy and potentially build a business with me. Okay, but you don't need to be so kind of black and white about it in that sense. You can just say, if you want to learn more, you know, if it's brought confidence, belief, community, you know, whatever it might be, a vision you didn't know was there before, whatever it might be, share it. Because I promise you then, when you are doing these coach invites, they are going to make so much more sense. And I can promise you the reason why some people will get a lot of people to join the coach sneak peek and some people won't is hand on heart, because they are either modeling what the coaching should be about in their stories and then following it up with a post so it all makes sense when the invite is sent, or they're sending an invite and then nothing on their grid and nothing in their stories really talks about coaching, and they'll literally get that invite. It's like when you invite to a boot camp and you haven't done a workout for a few days, you know, you're not really talking about it. If you invite people to a boot camp and they can't see anything of what you're doing, they're going to go, well, what is this? This person's not even doing the thing they're saying they're doing. Okay. So I want you not to waste your time. I want you to ensure that when you're inviting to the coach sneak peek, that all lights are on. And that is the same story for the boot camps, guys. Like, I promise you, it's a simple equation. If you are sharing vocally what it is and why it's exciting, and you have a call to action and you're threading it in amongst your day so that you're a normal human, right? So you've got like, yes, you do coaching, but you do other stuff. And then you have one post on your grid over the next few days that talks about the coaching. When you then send the coach invites, you are going to have people saying, yeah, actually, I'd like to take a look. Okay. So I promise you, it is that simple. And again, like, you know, it's like being a baby giraffe. If you haven't really invited to the coaching, you are going to feel awkward. Okay. And the number one thing I see with coaches is they get comfortable with the bootcamp invites and then they go, oh no, I don't really want to invite to coaching, so I'll just continue to invite to boot camps. But what did you do in the first place when you invited to boot camps? You got uncomfortable. So I want you to think about that. Okay, so with the coach invites, what I would advise you guys to do is exactly the same as you do to build a connection with somebody that you're going to invite to a bootcamp. So hopefully everyone on this call is already kind of au fait with kind of building a warm connection with someone, i.e. having an initial conversation with them before you send an invite. And that conversation opener for me, as most of you guys will know, is, hey, thanks for watching my stories, liking my post, following me back, and then I'll find something on their page that I resonate with, and then I'll say, are you on a fitness journey too? Or how long have you been on your fitness journey? Again, I ask that question for the coaching because ultimately, if somebody's not even got a vague interest in fitness and doesn't want to talk about fitness, they're probably not going to be a good coach, because ultimately the fundamental core of what we do as a coach is the same as a customer, and that is physical fitness and nutrition. Okay, so that's why I just don't change it. And again, it keeps that process simple for you guys. It's not even as though that initial connection message needs to change. Okay, and then you are going to write that list of people you've sent that initial message to, and the next day or 48 hours after, you are going to send them a coach invite. So it is literally the same process, but it's just not the bootcamp invite. Okay, so all the while you are sharing in your stories about coaching. It doesn't need to all be about coaching, as I said, but you want to share those visuals. You want to maybe screenshot the group and be like, so excited for this group on Wednesday the 30th. Okay, and I'm just going to share my coach invite in the chat here so that you guys can see it. So 1 second. And Joe, while I'm talking, do you want to just share what you do while I'm typing? Do you want to share what you do? Because Joe does things slightly differently, and I always think it's useful for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, my invite is quite similar to yours, but I think I've said before, I sort of don't go through and just invite anyone that I sort of I basically I do a lot of research on their profile and read up a lot of their posts, and if any of their posts actually identify something like they like to inspire people, or they like to encourage people, or they've got a story themselves that they've shared which is quite inspiring, I will message them and sort of congratulate them on what they've done and say that I'm really inspired by them and they'd be really good to have in the team, because we're all about sharing our journeys and our stories and inspiring other women. So that's what I tend to do with my invites. So I send out less invites, but I do tend to get quite a high percentage of replies from those invites. That's the difference for me.
Yeah, and I think that is kind of the one changer with what we do with coaching. Like, I definitely invite more people to coaching than Jo does, but I will just say that I don't just blanket invite everybody, because if you do that, then there are going to be some people that just aren't geared towards coaching. I'll often look at someone's page and be like, I don't want to invite them to coaching, because remember that if you invite them into coaching and they want to join, they're going to be part of your team and they need to be your tribe. It's so important. So again, it could be, guys, and this is how I do a lot of my follow-up. So this is kind of follow-up situation. It could be that you've invited someone to Control Freak and you've got a bit of a connection with them. Maybe they're watching your stories. A lot of those people have been getting a coach invite from me, okay? Because I built a connection with them. I like their page, I like their stuff, and actually I want them to learn about the coaching as well. So it doesn't mean, guys, if you've invited someone to the bootcamp that's it. They have to stay there. And actually, a lot of the really successful coaches say the best funnel to lead with is the business opportunity funnel. And then if they're not interested in it, you can always just enroll them as a customer. And that generally, for me, is the way that I do my business 75% of the time. I'm inviting to coaching most of the time for that very reason, because once we've invited them into a coach sneak peek, if they're not keen, you can always say, totally get it. Like, maybe they're not confident enough, or they don't believe in themselves, or they're really worried about posting on social media, but they love the idea. That's your typical person that I will say to you, don't worry. It sounds as though you'd really love like the community and just getting to grips with the programs first. Do you want me to explain how you can do that instead? So that's kind of like a segue that works really, really well. So don't feel that if you've invited them to the bootcamp, you can't invite them to the coaching opportunity, particularly if maybe they love on your posts all the time. As Jo said, like, you know, you've got this like little, you know, like an Instagram rapport or Facebook rapport going on. They're likely to be the people that are interested, because you have actually built a connection with them. And so watching you live or watching your colleagues live talk about what you're doing is really interesting to them. So I'm just sorry, I cannot type in chat. I just can't do it. Has anybody got any questions? Just while I'm typing it out.
Yeah, I think what Izzy's just said as well. I mean, I've only actually converted one person this month so far, although I've got a big list here. But I invited her to coaching in October, and she's watched the October and the November sneak peek, and she came in as a boot camper. And then she's literally just converted to coach now, because she's been watching what I've been doing. She's been a boot camper. She's got to grips with the program. She understands the nutrition, and now she's ready. Now she understands it all to share it. So she converted to coach. So that's, it's definitely worth, sort of speaking to everybody, I think.
Yeah. And I think, you know, I hope you don't mind me reaching out. So if I do a follow-up message, it's similar to this. It might just be, you know, I might just change it and say, I know we spoke about X in the past. I hope you don't mind me reaching out. So I'll just amend this. But again, they're like, I hope you don't mind me reaching out. If someone you've built a rapport with, as Jo said, like they might be interested in the coaching, and sometimes we're a bit too frightened to ask in case they go, oh my God, you're asking me about something else now. But actually, a lot of the time they are interested in it. If you word it like this, then how can they get angry at your invite? They just, in my opinion, they can't. Like, I rarely get, like, I know Francesca had a really awful message from someone the other day, and it does happen, and it's nothing, honestly, it's nothing personal. Like, it wouldn't be anything personal against her. And it does rarely happen. When that happens, I just think, do you know what? I feel really sorry for you, because you're obviously the person that needs this more than anyone else. You are so angry that you're a hurt person hurting other people. That's what they're doing. And that's why they need this, but not that you'd want to help them after they've been rude. But, just wanted to share that. So really what I was going to say is, just for the next 10 minutes, what I want you guys to do, and some of you might have already done this over the past kind of 24, 48 hours, which is great. I want you to go into your story watchers, okay? And I want you to look through them. Even if you've already invited them or you're already having a conversation, if they are watching your stories, I want you to tailor that invite, if you haven't already invited them, to the coaching opportunity, or if you want, follow up on Control Freak. But I would encourage you to try and send them a coach invite, okay? And if they are obviously somebody new that is watching your story, then you're just going to send them a connection message. That being said, sometimes, I don't do it that often, sometimes somebody's followed me back and they're watching my stuff, maybe they've commented on one of my posts as well, and they're engaging. I might send someone like that an invite right off the bat, because they're clearly engaging on my stuff, they're commenting on it, and they're watching my stories. When I have that kind of reception from someone that started following me, I will often kind of forget the initial connect, because it's clear that they're loving all my stuff, right? So, in fact, let's just do 7 minutes, okay? Has anyone got any questions on that? Okay, right. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so we'll stop there. So hopefully you guys have got a few invites out. What you're going to do now is just do the same for people who've liked your most recent post. And if you've already done that, then just go through your followers list, like who's followed you. And the way that I do that, I'm sure you guys know, but you just go into your followers, and the ones at the top are the ones who followed you most recently. So either an invite or a connection, and writing down their name so that you can invite them subsequently. So you're just going to go to who's engaged with your recent post, or a post that you haven't gone through, who's liked your stuff, like their stuff back, and make sure that you've gone through to see where you're at with the messaging with them. Okay, I'm going to give you guys another 5 minutes, and obviously if you've not finished on your stories, just continue on that. Okay, another 2 minutes, guys. Okay. So hopefully that's given you like literally the opportunity to see how much you can get done in 10 minutes when it's kind of solid focus, hopefully. So what we're going to do now for the next 10 minutes, just to really help you guys get the ball rolling on your post, is to select a photo and to do your then and now post. So where you were then and where you are now. If you're a coach that has done a post like that over the past couple of days, think about another way that you can talk about coaching in terms of maybe casting your vision, talking about the vision that you've got for your life based on what you've started doing, or something else that's been beneficial to you about the coaching. Select a photo and write the caption ready so that you can post it either today or tomorrow or the next day. And any questions, just let me know. Okay, I'll give you guys another couple of minutes. Hopefully you guys are getting quite a lot done. Okay, so hopefully that's given you a chance to do quite a lot of the stuff that you would be doing kind of daily in the lead up, just to really get as many people into that info session who you think will be aligned with it as you can. The other thing that I would say, as Joe like alluded to, is that people who have been in a previous sneak peek, if indeed you guys have added people to previous ones, just making them aware of this one coming up, even if it was just last month, is so important. Like the amount of coaches that join my team after seeing perhaps 2 or 3 or even 4 sneak peeks is really surprising. I know some of you guys, you're newer, so that might not be as relevant. But just bear that in mind and make sure that if you have got a follow-up list or if you're using a tracking system, that you're following up with those people. Has anyone got any questions? Oh yeah, when someone hearts an Insta invite and doesn't reply, I usually just message them and say, is it of interest? And if they put another heart, I just unfollow them. I'm like, if you're going to put another heart when I've, like it's just rude at that point. So I say, is this of interest? And if they're just going to send another heart, then quite frankly, they're not going to want to be somebody that you'll even want to work with if all they're capable of doing is sending a heart. So that's my take on it. And then it just gives me a gauge of, how rude they want to be. Basically, if you get a reply after that, then that's fine. But sometimes it is because people are being shy. Often, in my opinion, it's just because they're being rude. But I always I just ask them, is it of interest? Or like you put a heart, is it of interest? Something like that, whatever. So hopefully that helps. But yeah, if they then put another heart, that's just Elaine is rude. I think it is rude. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a boomerang. I'm going to stop recording and